My name's Molly and I'm the costume designer on The Last Kingdom.
So the costume team is huge on The Last Kingdom, and we're very lucky to have such an incredible team of artisans behind the scenes. So the leatherworker, the jeweler, the workroom, the breakdown team, all of these people, it takes a lot of time and a lot of talent to create the costumes that you see on screen. We probably have between 500 and 800 costumes around in all the different, factions.
We start our day about 3 hours before unit call because we usually have a very large amount of people to dress. So the crowd team will be physically dressing everybody. All of our costumes need help to get into, whether it's chainmail or lacing up cuirass, van braces. Then they all stand outside for a massive lineup, and me and Lauren, the assistant designer, literally check every single one by hand, get rid of any errant shoelaces or elastic or anything that we don't like the look of. And then everybody goes to set. We film all day. We're trying to kind of keep on top of all the different units, make sure that things don't get too disheveled as everybody fights. Of course, there's a limit to how perfect everybody can look. So there's lots of readjustments to make throughout the day, looking at the monitors, seeing what we're shooting, making sure that the breakdown team are matching the terrain to the costumes, and also any blood work, working with VFX, working with hair and makeup, working with SFX, making sure that any hits or stabs and any blood that's flowing is reflected in costumes. And then at the end of the day, we have to get everybody out of their costumes and clean everything up and, deodorize and wash what we can. So we always wash underlayers for everybody to start again the next day. So a long, busy day.
It's quite interesting because there is a lot written, but not much of it is that factual, because it's from finds and archaeological digs and people filling in the gaps. So that's quite good for us because it means we can be quite creative. So in order to make the costumes look realistic and authentic, we do a lot of breakdown. The breakdown department are basically a team of incredible artists who work on every single piece of costume which is seen on set. So they'll get it from our studio, from our workroom, and then they will work into it to make it look old. Where's it been? Why does it look like that? Have they been sweating? Have they been fighting? What was the terrain? So with all of this information, then they add colour to everything and make everything look really much more three-dimensional than when it's first made. Visually on the battlefield, it really helps when you know that the Knut is green, Heston's orange, so then you can kind of tell what on earth is going on. And then obviously when you bring into the mix Mercia and Wessex and Wales, it helps that we make them quite clearly different armies. So the Mercian army have helmets with green cloaks, and then Wessex are very grey with the chainmail, which shows that they're the richest army.
So the chainmail is very heavy. It's quite a physical thing to actually work in the costume department on this show because lots of the costumes and the leathers are super heavy. We use two different types of chainmail on the show. We use an aluminium chainmail, which is more for background cast. And then for people closer to camera and principal actors, we use a steel and rubber mixture, which is marginally lighter, but it looks great on screen because a full steel hauberk would weigh a lot, especially in this heat, and with the physical element to what both the supporting cast, the stunts and the cast have to do. So that's why we opt for these two variations. They are still super heavy. When you lift one, I think I can do two in each hand. but that's not for very far. But when they're wearing them, I think the weight's much more evenly distributed, almost like a backpack, I suppose, so across your shoulders and your back. So maybe it's a little bit easier to wear. Sorry, guys. When we're doing a battle, for example, it's some guys in a field. So the props and the armory and the hair and makeup and the costume really sell that story. And I think this show is very good at making that quite believable.